Morning, Saturday, August 8th, just coming up to 6 a.m. Day 2 dawning of the big heat. As you can see behind me, mist lying at the bottom of the Woolly Valley. The whole city of Bath is engulfed in the stuff at the moment. It's very close, and a bit of an uphill struggle getting up to Upper Swanswick. First time I've been out in just a short sleeve shirt. Actually, this is one of the Vietnamese shirts, not necessarily made in Vietnam, but bought to go to Vietnam, which is where we were going earlier this year, and we're now going next year. So why waste a shirt on a day like this? I was reading on the BBC this morning various ways of keeping cool during the heat wave at night when you can't sleep and you're restless and you're tossing and turning. Obvious things like opening the window and dishing the duvet, but a nice little tip, if you wear pyjamas or nighties, to stick them in the fridge during the day. I think it's better to put them in a plastic bag first, but that's something I might try later. It'll certainly be a bit of a shock putting them on. Anyway, I'm going back home to breakfast and then I've got to pop into town. So I'll tell you what, guys, I'll take you with me. Oh, and by the way, YouTube told me yesterday I had my first 100 subscribers. So thank you very much indeed to all of those who are following me. I checked again this morning, 104. It's going in the right direction. Anyway, see you in a bit. Oops, I did it again. I wonder who spotted the deliberate mistake in yesterday's Wyatt's walks. I wish I could claim it was a deliberate mistake, but it wasn't. It was just a mistake. I was describing the main entrance to the grand pump room, which is styled as a Corinthian portico. And that triangular bit at the top, under which in ancient Greek it says water is best, I described as a proscenium arch instead of what I should have called it, which is a pediment. A proscenium arch, of course, is the archway that divides the stage in a theatre from the audience sitting in the auditorium. So that's put that right. I'm gradually going to get better at this, a bit rusty after a few months off. Anyway, I also mentioned the fact that the pump room will be back in business from next Monday from 10 o'clock in the morning, but you do have to book. The thing I omitted to mention was England's, I think, oldest continually playing orchestra, the Pump Room Trio, will also be back in business and entertaining the crowds, no doubt, from 10 o'clock. In fact, as I arrived and peeped in through the door, there's a man busy tuning the piano. The music you hear is coming from some of Bath's famous buskers, the best buskers in the land, if you ask me. It's pretty busy today. I think I'm going to go and have a coffee. Oh, that's better. I've stopped for a cup of the best Italian coffee in Bath that you get at Rosario's in Northumberland Place, a place I've been coming to for 10 years. And when I was a mayor's guy, this is the sort of street that we said gave some idea of what medieval Bath was like. Narrow little streets packed with shops and a drainage gully in the middle. So although this isn't medieval, it's certainly on a medieval footprint. Now, what I wanted to show you, you can't see very clearly because there's scaffolding in the way, but at this end, the High Street end of Northumberland Place, there is a royal coat of arms way up on the side of the building. Just recently I came across a book, Sketches of Georgian Bath by J. Raymond Little, which was published in 1932, and there is a lovely picture in it of this end of Northumberland Place and a description and explanation about the coat of arms that's still there. Incidentally, it's quite ironic that there is a foreword to this book written by somebody called, let's just find it because it's in here right at the beginning, T. Sturge Cottrell. Now, T. Sturge Cottrell happened to be a local councillor. He went on to be alderman, but I think I'm right in saying he was twice mayor of Bath. And what's special about Sturge Cottrell is he's the man who at Christmas started showing his friends around Bath. He is the man responsible for setting up the Mayor's Guides, the honorary corps of Mayor's Guides, who ever since then have continued to show people around Bath. Sturge Cottrell was also the man who encouraged the erection of plaques showing where famous people had lived or stayed. So that's Alderman Sturge Cottrell to one side. But going back to that illustration of Northumberland Place, here is the explanation that Raymond Little gives to the coat of arms. He says, if you have good eyesight, you can from the pavement just make out the bearings on the two oval shields between the lion and the unicorn. One shows the royal arms of Great Britain quartering the lilies of France and differenced by an heraldic label. The other shows an eagle displayed. Differenced, I think, means altered to show members of the family. The curiosity I felt on observing this had to be shared. I found by Mr. Reginald Wright, who some time ago succeeded in solving the puzzle. Reginald Wright told him that when Bonash set up by subscription the obelisk, which still stands in the centre of Queen Square to commemorate the visit of Frederick, Prince of Wales, and his bride, they were parents of George III, by the way, in 1736, it was proposed to embellish the monument with their arms. A model of the arms was made. The builder of this gable presumably acquired the model at some subsequent date and put it where it is now. Well, that's one explanation. If you know differently, do let me know. When I finish my coffee, I'm going to pop up to Queen Square because there's quite a bit going on there too. Well, while we're talking about Queen Square, David Cartwright emailed Bath Museum to ask what in the blazes is going on there. He said there's even more digging and widening of the pavement around the inner square. The work is still not finished. Why, he says, not turn the whole square into a field? Well, of course, the work is all part of Bath's actions in terms of a clean air zone, work that was due to be completed by the end of this year. The clean air zone was due to be introduced at the end of this year. I think it's coming next year, and I'm going to start making some inquiries to find out what is the latest on the clean air zone. And with COVID and the economic impact of the pandemic, just how lenient are they going to be with finding people who break the conditions or who don't pay the daily rate to come into the clean air zone? So that's a few things for me to do next week. We would, of course, all like to see most of Queen Square pedestrianised. Well, I would for sure. And with the traffic diverted as it is at the moment, you can see the reason why we'd like to see it pedestrianised, because it would get rid of that lot and get rid of the fumes too. So I'll make a few inquiries, David, to see what I can find out. But whatever you're doing this Saturday, I suggest that, like some of the people in Queen Square, you stay in the shade because it's going to be a hot one.